This video addresses the term or concept of foreign policy instruments. It fits into our course in terms of understanding how a selected state from the Asia-Pacific region might achieve their different national interest priorities. The key thing to remember with foreign policy instruments are that they're used for foreign policy. So they're not used for anything within the state, but they're used for achieving objectives that involve other states and other global actors outside of the state. So foreign policy instruments refer to the tools that a sovereign state can use in order to interact and relate with other states and to achieve their goals and national interests. In our course, there are 4 examples of foreign policy instruments that we need to be able to talk about, and they include military power, diplomacy, trade, and aid. We'll briefly look at 2 of these foreign policy instruments. 2 examples. The first one is the foreign policy instrument of military power. Here we have 2 examples of Indonesia using this foreign policy instrument. The first example looks at the development of Detachment 88 with the US and Australia. So these 3 states working together across the Asia-Pacific region to combat terrorism across Southeast Asia. The key to using this example is to emphasize that it is about foreign policy and working multilaterally with other states in the region. So the action they're taking isn't just within Indonesia, but it's combating terrorism across the region. The second example involves naval exercises with Australia. These exercises were called Kakadu 2012, and they involved a number of other states. This example is more obviously foreign because it involves many states in the region having their navies work together to enhance cooperation. Another example of foreign policy instruments being used are those relating to diplomacy. A key feature of Indonesia in the past 13 years, so post-2000, is their enhanced diplomacy. So they've gone to great lengths to use this foreign policy tool to enhance their reputation and to be a better member of the international community. We have 3 examples here of Indonesia using this tool. The first is bilateral, the Australian Indonesian Business Council, the 2 states working together to enhance trade between their economies. The second example involves joining and being an active member of ASEAN post-2000. So if you were using this example, emphasize the cooperation between member states in a post-2000 world. The third example is the Bali process, over 30 states working together diplomatically. So in this sense, diplomacy is about high-level dialogue talks with other states, allowing these states to strengthen their diplomatic ties to promote further interaction and trade. Foreign policy instruments relate to the notion of international society because depending on which foreign policy instrument a state chooses will alter how they are perceived in the international community. For example, if we reflect on the difference between military power that we just saw and diplomacy, states might frown on a state using military power to maximise their sovereignty and borders, but states might encourage diplomacy and the strengthening of relations between states.